Live from New York, it's Ask an Engineer.
Hey everybody, welcome to another exciting Ask an Engineer live webcast show. We're broadcasting here from Adafruit headquarters in occupied downtown Manhattan. I am Lady Ada. I'm the engineer. With me is Adabot.
Hello.
He's on camera control.
That's right.
And ranting. And
Ranting.
other opinionating things.
I'm not ranting.
Well, sometimes. But actually today you don't have a rant.
I have no rants.
Anyways, we have a lot of exciting stuff on tonight's show, even though Adabot is not ranting.
All right.
You guys have tonight's show?
On tonight's show, we're going to be talking about the show and tell we just had. Some sad news in the world of programming. We have our electronic Halloween month going on. We will talk about Part Finder Friday, including a reminder about the 7400contest.com site. 7400. Little Bits has a job opening. You should check out their site. We made, like, the journal, the Proto Labs journal of molding.
Okay.
Best press we ever got.
Yeah.
Manufacturing Monday.
Molding.
A special offer from Panavice. Zandcards Wednesday. Part Finder Friday. Some interesting news with Connect, including first some interesting things that we're going to be doing with badges. New products galore. We've got arcade buttons, arcade stuff. We've got the DS Nano. We've got new versions of the EL wire, EL tape. We've got some water sensors. We've got a Geiger kit. We've got buttons. And we've got the Pinguino. And we've got a proximity sensor. We're going to have a cool segment, one of my favorites. It's not out yet, so don't ask. We're going to have a trivia question. We're going to answer your questions in sort of that order. All that and more. And a cat on...
With a tie.
Ask an Engineer. Here's that graphic. I like using this one once in a while. See, look at that. That's nice. Isn't that nice? Yeah, exciting.
Zip, 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 zip.
Okay.
Okay. Well, we've got multiple logos. We've got the one down here now. We've got the main one.
Someone just asked a quick question. I'll answer it. Have you updated your iPhone to iOS 5 yet? And does it still work with the Minty Boost? Yeah, it did. Should it not? Yeah. Someone said the kiosk that they were at, a battery charging kiosk, didn't work. I don't know. We'll triple check it, but I updated mine the second I could. I do that.
Yeah.
I'm like that. Yeah.
You're one of the
I have an iPhone 4GS on the way because I want to talk to Siri. Tell it to have me do stuff. I just want this phone to start telling me what to do now.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyways, let's start the show.
It's not bad enough I tell you what to do?
Nope. I want a robot to do it too.
Okay.
All right. So
I could become a robot.
next up, let's just do the code. So the code is occupied because we're closer to Wall Street than even the protest is, which is a few blocks away. 10% off many of the kids tonight. The code is occupy. If you look on the map of where Adafruit is, we're like 2 blocks. We can see Wall Street when we look out the window. So every day now there's protesting going on. We were walking around this morning, giant protest, here protest. I just want to say we've been occupying Wall Street before it went mainstream. We've been occupying Wall Street for like 5 or 6 years now. So just saying.
Yeah.
We were occupying before it was cool.
Mm.
Yeah. All right. So let's keep moving. So the code's occupied.
Okay.
We had the show and tell. It was awesome. We have a new way to do the show and tell, which is working out perfectly.
Yeah. So now
you just have to add a comment on her Google Plus post that says,
"Please add me."
Please add me.
And I'll add you to a circle.
Yeah.
And then we
send the invite.
Whatever.
Yeah, you send the invite.
Together we invite only the people in that circle to demonstrate their projects. And if you have a project that you want to show anytime in the future, it doesn't have to be next week. It can be like years from now. It can be like 2 weeks from now. Add yourself, and that way you'll always be able to join the chat.
Yeah.
We can't do it like 10 seconds before the show. You have to do it a couple.
We had some cool projects. A fellow named Oleg had this cool depth USB device that would take photos in a different way. We had someone who did combat bots. We had a return.
We had a lot of bots.
We had a return maker who has a really cool robot with a controller that he made a long time ago. And then we had someone who just made a ton of robots. If you missed it, you got to check out the recording because there's this really cool coffee can robot that like transforms and does really neat stuff. Someone in the chat asked, do we ever get mistaken for Wall Street types? Well, she has pink hair, and I look like me. We're probably going to get pepper sprayed and tasered tomorrow morning. Usually that's...
We get confused with protesters.
Yeah.
But we don't get confused with bankers.
Yeah, I mean, we're always kind of walking with a purpose, so we're mostly ignored. But we've never been mistaken for banksters. So
Yeah.
All right. So next up, some sad news. Dennis Ritchie, C programming language co-inventor and co-developer of Unix, passed away.
Yeah.
I think he's kind of like the person that everyone has something to do with, but they just don't know it. So I think I don't know I think he was like 76 or something like that, maybe.
Yeah, he like kind of kickstarted like pretty much everything if you want to go back enough generations, because you wouldn't have C++ without C. You wouldn't have a lot of modern development environments. I mean, like he wrote this language that was extremely powerful, extremely lightweight.
Yeah.
So anyone who does microcontrollers, chances are you're writing a microcontroller code in C. It's just interesting because actually there's just raw C is rarely used anymore. Yeah. So it's interesting that microcontrollers still use C a lot and like lightweight C++. I don't see templates and stuff being used a lot with microcontrollers. It's a really good language for doing microcontroller stuff. It's really memory light and instruction light, and it's if you have like a processors like the AVR that are designed for C, then it's a very easy transition between the two compilers. Are pretty easy to write.
Yeah. And I mean, on a personal note, this is the type of person I think that as a society and as a culture we need to celebrate. He certainly wasn't out in the spotlight. Recently Steve Jobs passed away, and because of Apple products, of course, a lot of people knew about it. But if you ask the average person, who Dennis Ritchie is, they probably don't know. So it'd be great to see people like him get recognized, not even after they die, but like during their lives.
Yeah.
I mean, Unix been around for a long time. C's been around. We're all on the shoulders of standing on the shoulders of these people.
Yeah.
Anyways, we wanted to call attention to it. Next up, we had our Halloween contest and community contest for the logo. I announced last week. We're sending out for the person who won. They got their gift certificate. For the people who entered, still getting to that. I'm sending them like $10 in the store.
You're super swamped.
Yeah, I got a little behind. But
is that I think that's a capacitor pumpkin.
It's a capacitor pumpkin.
Oh, it's so cute.
So for this month, every day, except for weekends, look on the site. There's a hash mark. It'll say hash electronic Halloween. And we do a post every day about a cool Halloween project. And we have 10% off anything in the EL wire panel tape category. Mm-hmm. So if you're thinking about getting this stuff, we just recently ran out of stuff because everyone wants to dress up like Tron people. For
next week.
Yeah, for Halloween. So do check out that section.
Okay.
Get that going on. So there's a different code for that when we do that. Next up, the 7400contest.com.
Logic.
Yeah.
I wonder, could you enter in like 4000 series too? I don't know. That's probably fine.
I don't know. And I'll skip ahead to the Part Finder Friday that you did.
Oh,
because, it's related. So this is.
I'm trying to pick out some of the logic chips that I like most.
Yeah. So you want to talk about this?
Yeah. So this is the 74HC 165, and the 74HC 165 is not as popular as the sister chip, the 74HC 595, which is a serial to parallel latch. The 165 is a parallel to serial latch. It's basically the opposite. Whereas you use a 595 if you wanted to like control a lot of LEDs or a lot of outputs or like solenoids or whatever. The 165 is really good if you want to get a lot of inputs, so like buttons usually. And if you don't want to use a matrix for some reason, say because you don't want to have like a ghosting effect, we used the 165 on the Zoxbox because we had like 40 buttons, and we wanted to make sure that we could read all those buttons, but we didn't want to matrix them because we didn't want to have any ghosting effect. So yeah, so the 165, easy, you chain them. They're really easy to use. They come in every package you could possibly think of, and they're like super cheap, like 20 cents. So really good if you want to do a large input collection. Just don't forget to put pull-ups or pull-downs because it doesn't have that built into it. Okay.
Next up, our friend, we covered this last week, but our friend Aya is the founder of Little Bits, and the fourth open source hardware company to get venture capital funding.
Yeah.
And so with funding means hires. So she has a bunch of job openings. Office manager, web and documentation intern, industrial product designer.
I think there's also an EE job.
I think I think that might be under the product designer. I don't know.
Oh, yeah?
I don't know, but anyways, it's on our jobs board. And so far, there's been really good success for companies posting up on the job boards and then finding good candidates. In fact, we had a friend who stopped by and we're playing Matchmaker because they saw the job on the Adafruit jobs board, and he happened to be in New York, and so we're going to see if he can meet with Aya.
Yeah.
And that would be a really cool match. So if you have skills and you want to tell the world about it because you want a job, post it there. And if you want to hire awesome people who are probably reading or buying stuff from the Adafruit site, post there too. One of the other ones I didn't cover this week, maybe I'll cover next week, is like assistantman for the School of Visual Arts. I mean, that's cool. If you're going to be assistantman, like, that's the place to be. Like,
yeah.
hang out with
You
art.
can probably take classes for a discount.
Yeah.
All sorts of good stuff. Take advantage of your job.
Yeah. Next up, the iCufflinks are making the press. So last week they were in German. There's a German magazine called Business Punk, and it's for people
like Germans are so into business that they actually are like the only kind of punk we have is business punk.
They have Business Punk. So it's like you dress awesome and then you have like awesome accessories. Business Punk. So that was last week. This week we're in the Proto Labs Journal. And it's usually about like what type of mold to use for your industrial machinery. And one of the features was Adafruit, because Mike Dole, who's in the chat room, did an awesome job with the machining of the cufflinks. And the people who know about machining and stuff, they see these and are like, hey, that's really nice. They don't even care what it does or what it is. They're just like, that's nice machining.
Nice machining there.
Yeah. So, anyways, I actually like this type of coverage. Like, you've appeared in everything, and that's what do they say? That's old hat. I don't know. Old hat. But these places where no one ever hears of Adafruit.
I kind of dig these like weird rags that are like they're like quarterlies or sometimes they're weeklies, but they're industry magazines.
I like the industry stuff.
Yeah, it's kind of weird. And it's also kind of interesting because I didn't even know about Proto Labs Journal, and I got to read it. And I was like,
the PDF is online for free. We posted a link to it. It's actually a really interesting magazine. I might actually subscribe to this.
Yeah.
So it's cool.
Usually they're free. Usually they're advertising.
I like to support. Next up, we had Manufacturing Monday. This is the massive scale. You love the scale.
Yeah.
All right.
I really like the scale.
Yeah, you want to talk about the scale?
I'll talk about the scale.
Do you want to show it? How do you want to do this?
Can I show it?
You want the overhead?
On the overhead, yeah.
All right.
It won't really fit.
Uh-oh.
Oh.
What happened?
Oh.
The overhead does not work.
That's weird.
Why?
That's old overhead.
Yeah.
Not new overhead.
No overhead tonight.
Oh.
Something's wrong.
Except if we show the ties, and then we can just use the overhead.
I wonder why it stopped working. That's weird.
I don't know.
Is the light on?
No.
Huh. All right. No overhead tonight.
Okay. Well, I'll just show that. I can't demonstrate it, but I'll show it off.
Yeah.
So this is a This is a counting scale, and this is a kind of a nice scale. It's a little bit large, but this is a really nice quality scale. Right now, it's tearing. It's gonna be a little confused because I'm holding it up. And what I like about the scale is a couple things. One, I really dig this like nice, large, easy to read. Well, it's lit up now, but it's got a lit up, really nice, easy to read display. It's really fast. It's very precise. It has 1/100th of a gram precision. It's easy to use, like the counting. There's like a button that you press just to start counting, and it's like, okay, it actually like takes you through the counting calibration procedure. On the side, there's an RS-232 port, which pumps out data in like, standard like 2400 baud, like just data. So you could, I don't know, we could maybe have some sort of organized inventory counting system. There's a DC jack, but it's, as you can tell, it's battery powered, and then underneath.
You're gonna have to use this. That camera actually died, by the way.
Oh, that's cool.
The overhead actually died when I went to it.
Oh no!
So we'll just use this for now.
Yeah, it's got it's got a lead acid battery in here. You can see, and so it lasts actually like all week or maybe even more. We've only had it for like a week or so.
Does the scale come with Linux software? Someone wants to know.
No, it's just embedded. It doesn't. It's not a computer. It's just has a microcontroller inside. And this one can weigh up to 600 grams, which is good. There's also a version that does a kilogram, but. When you're, I can't demonstrate it unfortunately, but it's very easy to use this to count components. So like, for example, if you want to make LED packs of 25 LEDs, instead of counting out like 1, 2, 3, 4, whatever LEDs, you can just put 10 on, and then you tell it to get into counting mode, and then you can dump as many as you want, and it will always tell you exactly how many pieces you have. And another thing we like about this, you get everything.
Big clear display.
Yeah, clear display.
Counting mode, high precision, good capacity, battery powered or AC powered, doesn't matter, and computer tether.
Yeah, that's what I was talking about, the RS-232. But yeah, basically it's great for canning. It's also great for when we make kits. Sometimes we'll weigh each kit to do a simple check to make sure that we included every part. Usually it's not like going to tell you if you missed a resistor or not, but if like you have a box like an ice tube clock kit and you have to have a bag, an enclosure, a battery, a wall adapter, it'll tell you if you forgot any of those. So that's kind of nice.
Yeah.
So yeah, we like this guy. Actually, I just got another one because I want to make sure that we have a backup, and also because it's so useful that we use it for like almost everything around here. So I like the scale. It's a nice scale.
All right. Okay, next up, Panavice. They gave us these coupons that go inside the Panavices now. So if you buy one, this is actually from a make effort.
Yeah.
They wanted some input on their products from the community, and they went ahead and built it. And it's this little thing that helps you turn the handles more. Do you want to show it? You know, the other thing is you can use this camera, I believe. Yeah, that one still works.
Oh, okay,
that
great.
one works too. That'll be our close-up camera.
Yeah. Unfortunately, yeah. Like if you could bring
More?
it down even a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it was really bright. Okay. So this is like a standard Panavice, and I'll pop this off. And the thing that is a little annoying about the Panavice is you have this this knob here to open and close the jaws, and it's kind of annoying if you want to open it up all the way. It goes up to like 3 inches or so, and then this little plastic handle is just like a little press fit part, and you can really quickly open it using your finger, or like this or whatever. And we like it. They sent us a bunch of these, and we installed them on the Panavices we have here, and they made it a lot easier to use. We use these for all sorts of stuff, rework and testing. They're a little slow, but I like the base and I like the jaws. They're pretty good, and I like the groove inside. So this is a nice little accessory. And so they sent us a bunch of flyers, and so if you buy a Panavice from us, it's going to include a flyer, and then you have to call up, and they'll send you one of these. I'm not sure why they didn't just send us enough for all the Panavices, but they wanted to do it this way. So if you order a Panavice or something with a Panavice in it, you'll get that flyer and you'll get a free handle.
And if you bought a Panavice from us in the last month, you could just call them and they'll just give you one, by the way.
Yeah.
Alrighty, next up. We had Zencart Zensday, and Zencart Zensday is where we give away valuable business logic. People think we're crazy for giving away all this stuff.
We are crazy.
They're also annoyed by it too. I think our competitors are annoyed because
we're also crazy.
Then they get asked, they're like, "Hey, when are you gonna like give away some of the stuff that how you run your site?" And they're like, "Nah, I don't want to give away nothing."
Crazy Ada's crazy.
Those Adafruit people give away too much. They're crazy. Yeah. So, anyways, Zencart Zensday, we talked about how to shorten and prettify URLs. So you can go from big, long, crazy URLs that Zencart makes to short, nice URLs that you can even put on the side of packaging.
Yeah, which we do. Yeah, the Zencart default... Oh.
I don't even know where I did it.
Oops.
Oh, yeah. Well, I need to talk about it. I
Why don't you go to the...
I didn't pull that one up.
That's fine. Everything is there.
Go for it.
You don't need to. This is it.
Yeah.
Yeah, so as you can see up top, that's the normal Zencart OS Commerce URLs. They're like really long, and they have like CPath, product ID, main page, and it's okay. But we wanted to like not have like index.php show up. Actually, I don't know why this is the default. Maybe it isn't anymore, but I do see it still on a lot of Zencart sites. So we wanted URLs like that, where it's just the product and then the ID, and almost every product has like one category for the most part it sits in, and like if you're going to that page, you probably want to see the product page. So you have to do a little bit of HT access rewriting and a couple little built-in things, I think, to the PHP, the URL generator to make it so it automatically generates URLs that look like that. But it's pretty easy. So if you have any kind of site that generates long, ugly URLs, you can make them look like that, and it's a lot easier to say and a lot harder to mistype. And then when you have emails and printed stuff, for example, in the documentation, we have the URL of the product on the invoice. So we want people to be able to like go back and like type it in to get the downloads or whatever. Nobody's gonna type that. They want to type that.
And the reason we do this is because we have to go through all this crap to run a business, and wouldn't it be great if you could just start making and shipping hardware and not have to worry about all this stuff? So we think it would be super cool if we had all this stuff when we started, because then we'd have like 10 times the products by now. So we do this so other people can make their own Adafruits in their own businesses, and people have. We love it. It's awesome.
Great.
So Next
That's
up,
Wednesday.
yeah, that's Wednesday.
We did Part Finder Friday.
We already did Part Finder Friday. That was so much fun. Do you remember that back then? Anyways.
Yeah.
Okay.
The days.
2 things that are new. So there's a new book that you can buy as it's being written called Making Things See. And it's by Greg Bornstein, I believe that's the person's name. He interviewed us because we did the Connect bounty.
Yeah.
And
this is a Connect book.
It's a 3D. The name of the book is the title underneath it is 3D Vision with Connect Processing and Arduino.
Those are 3 things I like.
Yeah, they're using the open source drivers,
Yay!
which we got out there with help from the community
and
Hector, and we rewarded them. And eventually, it was revealed that Johnny Lee, who was at Microsoft at the time, had approached us. That was really cool. So we did an interview. Yeah, we did an interview. And I think at this point, it's really clear how awesome it is that the Kinect is out there for anyone to hack and do fun stuff with. In fact, it messed up Microsoft, I believe. Maybe I am going to rant. Maybe you're right. It messed up Microsoft.
Oh, boy.
No, it messed up Microsoft so much to the point where they had to do an SDK. They couldn't sit around and let all these open source people do something. So they have an SDK, which is cool because that means they're responsive. And they have a SDK that's out there now for like education, non-commercial, and there's kind of this other one. It's unclear how they're going to release it, and
if they're going to release it.
It's unclear if it's commercial use or not or whatever. But anyways, the other news is first, and this is a picture Dean came in with the Kinect. They have this pack it's called like the first pack or something, and I believe it's 2012. Next year, every robot or one of the categories of robots at first, you get a Kinect and you use the Kinect, and they're using the Microsoft SDK, which isn't like ideal for like my personal view, but it's like I can live with it. It's cool. Like I think that's neat. Like all these kids are going to be making robotics with an off-the-shelf piece of hardware like the Kinect, and like the expectation is that's what you're going to be able to do with the Kinect or anything. Like they're like we're training people to think that this stuff that normally is just like for consumers is actually okay to do things like complicated robotic vision. Super cool. So yeah, it's for next year's competition. Yeah, that's cool. All right, next up in the store, because we're in new item territory now, and we're gonna go through these pretty fast. The badges, people kept asking, "Can I buy badges? Can I buy badges?" And we were just adding them to the cart automatically if you get to a certain amount.
Yeah.
So we will still do that. You can still earn, you can still get one by buying a bunch of stuff from us, but you can also buy them for workshops now, and we have bulk rates and reseller rates. So awesome. And the files are on GitHub if you want to make your own too.
Yes.
We're crazy open source people. We're giving everything away. Okay, new products. We got buttons. You put a bunch of stuff in the store. These are these awesome translucent buttons.
Yeah, I wish I had the overhead.
Yeah, the overhead's dead. I mean, if you want to look at old stuff, ties. Remember that?
Yeah, what happened?
Yeah, no, the camera actually broke.
You don't think you can unplug it and re-plug it in?
It'll crash Ustream.
Wow.
Yeah, you don't want to do that.
Scary. Well, maybe I'll just I'll hold it up here. You can sort of see these buttons, but the pictures are pretty good. So yeah, we have a collection of 6 buttons in different colors. We have clear translucent. Here, if I can get all these. We've got the clear translucent, which is kind of white clear. We've got the yellow. Got it's kind of nice ruby red. I like that one. And then we've got green, and then a nice blue.
Yeah.
And finally a pink. And the thing about these buttons that I really like is that they're kind of shorty buttons. They're not really tall, because like I wanted to do a project where I had like a little arcade controller, but most American like inexpensive arcade buttons are like this long. They're really long. Actually, I have one. They're like twice as long. I don't know if you can see that. And they use micro switches, and this has a really nice switch built in. It's not like clicky, like it's solid, but it's not like a click, so you don't have any resistance, so you can press it really fast.
Someone wants to know, is the part that you press opaque?
It is opaque, but if you put an LED inside of it, I think it would shine through pretty nicely, because it's like a thin white plastic.
Concave, flat, or convex?
They're pretty flat.
Yeah.
I kind of like them. Yeah, I have like a box of like 20 different types of buttons, and these are the ones that made it, mostly because they're short. They have nice gold contacts. They have a good feel to them, and
be disassembled to mod.
You can pop the top off.
Yeah, you could pop an LED in too, like people.
There is a slot in the side that you could like put an LED into it. Like I was thinking about that when I got these, And then they snap into a case, which is kind of nice. So you can just pop them in, and they'll just hold in place pretty easily. So I like these buttons. Maybe I'll show the colors again. Yeah, so you've got 6 nice colors. I also like that they came in a bunch of nice colors. And then to go along with that, there is this
let's
joystick.
This is it. Oh, you want to show it in front of
it?
Here's nice photos.
Yeah, I took some nice photos of this.
And drawings, technical drawings.
Yeah, I had to get these technical drawings and clean them up so they look good. So this is the little joystick. And this is like a joystick like you would find on like Pac-Man games and other games. It's on the bottom, it's an 8-way switch, which means it's meant to do diagonals as well. It can do like up, down, left, right, as well as diagonal, north, west, southwest, northeast, southeast. But you can, if you take the bottom and you pop it and you rotate it, it can turn into a 4-way. I think in Pac-Man games.
Question: do the arcade buttons fit into standard arcade 1.125-inch holes?
These are 30mm. They are a standard size. But there is a technical drawing. I suggest you look at it to make sure. There's 2 sizes. There's 24mm and 30mm. These are standard 30mm, which is maybe about 1.25 inches. So yeah, it's probably about the right one. And yeah, they'll probably work in any arcade. I think that the smaller buttons are used for like the player 1, player 2 or something.
Adafruit did not design these. These are ones that this isn't a segment yet that we're going to do, but I like to call it, if it's not from Adafruit, it's crap! Because we have a box of ones that we sampled and tried, and these we think for the price and what they are the best value. They have a really great feel. This is awesome.
Yeah, I really like
there's
this.
tons of choices out there, but these are the ones that we think are the best.
Yeah,
we have opinions.
We're really picky.
Yeah, we are picky.
Okay, any other questions?
Okay, what?
Any other questions?
I don't think so. Looks like it. Someone mentioned that you can light up underneath, maybe with like EL panel and wire too. Do that.
If you had a large panel, if you had a large panel underneath like a plate, then you can make these light up. But I think they would. I haven't tried it, but I think it would work pretty well.
Someone also, can you buy stuff like this from DigiKey? I don't think so.
No, DigiKey doesn't sell sort of stuff.
No, it's all the stuff.
Actually, I'm looking because I wanted to buy some stuff like this.
Next up, we now have the Nano in stock.
I was going to demo it, but again, it doesn't make much sense.
Yeah, we don't have the overhead, but we do have, if you want to hold it up. But anyways, a lot of people are probably familiar with it. One thing that we're debating about, and we're not sure if we're going to do this yet, we might put there's another version of the firmware that everyone seems to like to install. We're going to sell these for a little bit, and we might preload. There's a modded version of the firmware.
Yeah,
and,
I like...
Hey, why don't you do it in front of this one right here?
Okay.
It might be easier. I don't know. Yeah, the Benef firmware.
So this is the DSO Nano, and I can show it kind of briefly. It's got control buttons on this side. It's in a case that looks like it was like some sort of MP3 player or something. It's got a metal backing, DSO Nano. Got an on-off switch. It charges through a mini B connector. There's a scope in, and then there's also a simple function generator out. It's the only thing is that like it's a hobby scope. It's not like the scope that you're going to have for the rest of your life for main use, because it only does, I think, like 200 kilohertz analog bandwidth, or 1 megasample per second, 200 kilohertz analog bandwidth. So it's only good for signals up to like about 100 kilohertz. So it's good for like audio stuff and like basic microcontroller stuff, but it's not going to be like your 50 megahertz scope. But it is, and it's also one channel, but it is a really nice portable scope, and I've used it like when I'm on the field or like debugging a project and I don't want to haul my scope over. I'll take this over and I'll be able to like plug in and just like watch to make sure it's doing the thing it's supposed to do. So that's what I think that this scope is really good for. Or if you're, if you have you work in a lab or something and you want to like have this in your toolbox, you can take it and like pull it out and use it to debug signals. Or if you need a floating ground scope because if you want to take a differential measurement, this might be easier. Just remember not to do high voltage differential measurements.
Like $100 this thing's fun, as someone said.
Yeah, for $100, I think you get a lot. I mean, you get a battery, you get a nice screen. You can update the firmware with this nicer firmware. You can do data logging to micro SD. So it's a good beginner scope. or it's a good accompaniment to your main scope. That's what I feel about it. And this version 2 is a lot better than version 1. I had a version 1 and I didn't feel it was ready. Waited. It wasn't ready to sell yet in the Adafruit store, but the version 2 I'm actually pretty happy with.
A couple quick questions. We plan to sell oscilloscopes and pro multimeters like Fluke and Agilent. I can tell you for the oscilloscopes, we're evaluating a bunch right now. We don't. When we stock it, it'll be because we thought a long time about it, and we'll wait to get what we think is best.
So I think that the multimeter we have, the EX330, is pretty good. I have a rant that I do against Fluke multimeters. I think Fluke multimeters are really, really good, and like, of course, if someone else is buying your equipment, you should pick one up. But for the kind of people who are doing like what we talk about, like hobbyist stuff and projects and hacking, like the X-Tech is like perfectly fine and has like been excellent for me, and I've been really, really happy with it. I don't need a calibrated, multimeter that costs $250. Like, if someone else is paying for it, yeah, sure, pick up a Fluke or pick up like Agilent or like a benchtop multimeter. But I think for hobbyists, like, they don't need something like that. Like, I have I think like 100 megahertz scope, and it's like way more than
someone want to know what scope to use now.
I use a 4-channel Tektronix scope, 100 megahertz, and it's even kind of overkill. I could have easily gotten away with a 2-channel, like 50, but
And then the DSO quad, we're not going to stock that for now.
Yeah, we're going to start with this one and see how people like it, and then maybe we'll update to the more hardcore one.
If people buy them, I'm like, if you want to support Adafruit, buy from us, and then we'll probably stock more types of things like that. Okay, next up, we have an update to our EL tape.
Yeah, where's the
the EL tape? I like this. So we work closely with the factories to get interesting things made for us, and so we decided to get ends on it.
So this is cool because you have the EL tape, but the thing about EL tape is unlike.
Want to go close on the thing?
No, just the main
camera.
Main camera on. Okay. The thing that I like about tape is that it's like cool and glowy, and the thing I don't like is that you can't solder to it. Basically, once you've cut it, and that's it. And so before, what we had was a length that was 60 centimeters long, because that's what our pocket inverter could run. But now we have 1 meter strips, which is what I originally wanted to carry. And the thing that's nice is that it has 2 connectors, one on either end, made for us. So you can now use it by one long piece, or you can cut it in half. And like 50 centimeters is also like a really good amount for the pocket inverter. The inverter really likes driving about that length. So you get basically 2 pieces for one, and you can cut it, one shorter than the other. So this is really nice, I think. So we've done this to the white and aqua strip, and then we're going to slowly get all the other strips to also be 1 meter long and have the 2 connectors. And
the thing that, I kind of consider myself a user, not an engineer like you, for a lot of this stuff. So you went through and figured out the exact right lengths for the inverters we have, and that's something that no one else really did before.
That drove me crazy. Like, I would buy EL from other places, and they would be like, well, this inverter matches to this, and I'd be like, okay, but can you just tell me, like, the capacitance or something? And so I actually sat down and, like, went through, like, a lot of measurements to figure out, like, I would attach, like, raw capacitance and dummy capacitance to the inverters, because it's a capacitive load, not a resistive load, to figure out what's the optimal length. And so once I figured that out, and measuring the capacitance of the EL tape and panel, we can make sure that, we can say, like, this is exactly how much you can drive with this inverter. We're going to be carrying some other inverters.
So someone asked the thing that I said that was going to happen. Can you power a longer strip with 2 inverters on both ends?
Oh, you should do that.
You should not do that.
No, because they're not going to be synced.
Yeah, they're not going to be synced, and you should not plug in 2 inverters on the same strip.
No, don't. You should we'll have a stronger inverter that can drive a full meter, and you can use that. But because it's AC, you don't want to have it. Don't cross the streams.
And one other thing. So someone says do pocket inverters whine. They all whine.
They all
we include something extra with ours to minimize that.
In the starter pack.
In the starter pack, we do. We have
includes
some
a
piece of foam.
You can open it up and you can put hot glue or foam inside. Yeah. They all squeak because they're all running at audible frequencies. We're trying to get an inverter that's potted, that doesn't make noise, but the trade-off is that you can't put batteries in it, because if you could put batteries in it, it would be potted.
So,
trade-offs.
someone wants to know if you. But what if you power the inverters from the same power source?
No,
this
doesn't work that way.
Yeah, we should continue to say do not ever do that.
Do not do that. Just use one inverter.
Don't make us put labels on stuff, folks. Don't do that.
We actually did put we put a warning. It says don't do that.
I mean, like multiple warnings.
We do this so you can cut it in half, not so you can. It doesn't make sense to power it from two inverters.
This is why we can't have nice things.
Yeah.
All right. Okay, next up, we have these awesome sensors that you just got in, these water sensors.
Yeah, these are really interesting. So this is a tape sensor, and inside, it's hard to tell because we don't have a bright backlight, but inside there's a little channel with like conductive fluid, I guess, in it, and as as the water pressure increases. Can you go to the main camera?
Main camera.
I don't like the bright light.
You know what? I'm not going to ever use that camera again.
No, it's not good.
No,
There's this bright light that shines in and
so
makes it
it's sticky.
It's not sticky, but it's just plastic and it's PET. You could put any kind of adhesive on the back. But yeah, it has a conductive fluid inside, and so as the pressure increases, the fluid increases the conductivity of the two opposite pins, and so the resistance goes down. I think one day you should make sure exactly I think the resistance goes down as the water level rises. So what's nice about this sensor, which is interesting because I haven't seen this yet in a different kind of sensor, is it provides continuous level measurement. So you can measure not like has it reached this level or not, like a float, which is what most people use, but it can actually tell you whether it's an inch or 2 inches or 3 inches. So there's a couple of things I thought this would be cool for.
So
one is if it would be good for an aquarium.
Yeah.
Another thing it would be good for is like hydroponics, where you want to make sure that the water level of like a tub of water that's like feeding your tomato or something.
Okay.
It might also be good for like a rain tube or something like that, if you want to measure exactly how much water has gone in, or like if you like collect rainwater or something, that could also be good for it, or some sort of other reservoir.
Yeah.
So.
Oh, one quick question, and then I have a comment. One of the questions is, do you need a lot of fluid pressure to get a reading?
I don't think so. I think the demonstration from the website is using like a thin column of water. There's a video demonstration. It's not very much. I think that.
What's the patent number on this thing? Someone wants to know.
7661307.
Yeah. You can also look on the photos on our site.
Yes.
One thing, real quick, does it work on Jupiter? Probably not. I mean, I guess it could. You have to get a Jupiter, and you know what? We don't have a program right now for getting things like this to Jupiter. One quick comment. I think Mikey Sklar was in the chat earlier, or he's there now. I think he was storing rainwater because he's in Truth or Consequences in New Mexico. That would be an interesting. This is one way to.
This could tell you. We have a longer one as well. This one does up to 12.5 inches or so.
Someone wants to know if it could monitor HVAC fluid levels because. HVAC. It's a long story. For the regulars, you know why that's funny.
I don't think that in HVAC you ever have a tub of water, though, do you? I think it's
not if you're doing everything right. Okay.
It's true.
Oh, is it acid resistant?
It's made out of PET plastic, so you could look up at MSDS for PET and then just verify whatever fluid you want to put it in. But yeah, just look up that plastic.
Does the water affect the accuracy over time? I
don't think so. I think it's stable because it's enclosed.
Okay, we're going to keep moving here.
Okay,
Next up, we've got a Geiger counter kit. I think we're almost sold out of these already. This is the Mighty Ohm Geiger counter kit. It's open source Geiger counter kit. Oh, let me go to the larger.
Let's see if we can get it to click. Of course, now it's not being radioactive.
Yeah, I have.
Come on.
I have some. I actually have some uranium that I would have to go find.
Yeah, where's your uranium?
It's not here. Oh, there, it just clicks now.
Yeah. So anyway, this is a really cute kit. It comes with a Geiger tube, which I really like, and it's really easy to make. It's a 3-volt kit, and then there's an LED that blinks, and then there's a little piezo that beeps, so you can get this nice feedback.
What levels of radiation does it sense? Alpha, beta, or gamma?
You should look up at the. I don't remember. I think it only does the alpha and beta, but I don't recall offhand. You should look on the product page for mightyohm.com/Geiger, and I'm sure it has information about the tube and what the tube can detect, because it depends on what the tube has. And then you can get serial data out with an FTDI friend or FTDI cable to, log your radiation. And there's also pulse output if you want to log it using some sort of pulse detector.
Let's see if this beer is radioactive. It's from Japan. Oh no, I'm drinking radioactive beer. Yeah. Can you attach it to an Arduino?
Yeah, you could. You would probably connect the pulse output directly to a digital pin, and then you would measure that.
Yeah. When we were in Tokyo, we met the folks who were doing the Japanese Geiger counters there, and there's also SafeCast, which is a really cool project that folks are working on to publish the radioactive data there.
Wow, it's going crazy.
Yeah.
You can also turn it into like a random number generator if you wanted to like generate really good PGP keys. You could use like the random timing output, the radioactive decay random
Does it
timing.
need to generate high voltage for the measure?
Yep, it does it on the board. That's mostly the kit. There's a 555 that's a boost converter.
Okay, next up, we're going to keep moving. Here are some buttons. These are awesome buttons. I love these buttons. Here's technical drawings of the buttons. Here's another glowing button. And then here it is. Buttons.
Yeah, let me turn this on.
Keep moving.
So, this is...
I'll go to the bigger view.
Yeah, this is one button, and this is a momentary press button.
Yeah.
It's a really nice waterproof chrome button, and it has like a little rubber gasket, which you can kind of barely see.
It's waterproof.
And it's got this LED ring, and I can turn it off or back on. And then the LED is separate from the switch, so you can have it, be related to the switch or not, or whatever you want. Here is the green one. The green one is actually an on-off, so you can turn it on or off, and it sort of stays in place. So this would be good as a power button or something like that, or something you wanted to press it and it stayed that way. And yeah, this also has a nice green ring. So
okay.
Yeah, if these are popular, I'll pick up other colors. They come in like 6 colors. Okay. But I only have green and red right now.
Yeah,
green and blue right now.
Keep moving. We got Pinguinos in stock. I interviewed these guys on Mank, and I fell in love with them. This is kind of the I'll do a 1 sentence rant. I like this better than the chip kit 32 Uno 32.
Yeah.
I like it better.
Well, this has a couple more things, and it's all open source. These guys actually spent a lot of time making an IDE that's Arduino-esque, but isn't the Arduino.
OpenStack.
And it's they say they have OpenStacks and everything, and it's kind of cool. It's got a couple of neat extras, which I really like. First off, it's an open source hardware. They released all the files.
Yeah.
And the ID and everything. It's got a built-in lithium-ion charger, which I think is kind of neat. It's got extended temperature range. You can use it for industrial stuff. It's got a DC-DC converter for the voltage input, so it's not a linear regulator. It runs at like 3.3 volts, I think. And so you can plug in 9 volts and it'll DC-DC convert. So it's actually really good for battery applications and stuff. You can plug in any voltage. You don't have to worry too much about like, I'm losing all my powers. All my power is heat. It has like an Arduino type spacing. It's not compatible with all the shields. They do have a list of shields and libraries that it's compatible with, but you should check the website. We link to it. Yeah. It's running, I think, at like 50 megahertz or something. It's
pretty powerful. We'll probably use it for some demo projects with like some crazy LED stuff we gotta do.
Yeah, we have some ideas for what we would be using this for. It's basically like a high powered thing, and the price is good. It's like $35, and you get all this stuff. And if you're like a pick person, or if you just want like a step up, I wouldn't suggest this for a beginner. But if you already know microcontroller stuff and you want like something cool and crazy and extra, this could be.
I just want to say something because there is rants. So you know what? I'm just gonna I'm gonna say something.
Can we have a little thing that goes to the bottom?
No, I want to say something. So we try our best to have a processor from every company. So we've got let's just go over this. We got AVRs.
AVRs.
We got PICs.
Lots of AVRs.
We got ARMs.
ARMs.
What else we got?
We got tons of ARMs. We got 2 ARMs.
We got propeller.
2 ARMs.
We got propeller.
Yeah.
Right? We have a little bit of everything for everybody. Everybody. We're not just a one-chip shop. All chips are welcome here.
Yes.
Okay. Next up. You released a sensor. And we have FPGAs.
We have FPGAs now.
Yeah. We have...
The only thing we don't have is CPLDs because I think CPLDs are cool, but like they're just... It's tough if you can get an FPGA board for like $99. It's kind of tough to compete.
Yeah. All right.
Oh, this one's a really quick one. I'll just talk about it briefly. It's a proximity sensor, and this is really neat. On that little black chip in the middle is an IR emitter. It's kind of like the sharp IR sensors, where it has an emitter and detector, but they're both really close together, and it's really small and surface mount. And what it can do is it can detect like about this distance, so it's good for like nearby stuff. And it says like apparently this is used for like detecting when like your phone is near your iPhone is near your ear, so it'll like the light turns off and stuff. So this is good for very small distance proximity sensing, which is actually something that the sharp distance sensors are very bad at. The ones we carry, at least, they tend to be good for like meter distances, not good for really short distances. So this is something that will solve your problems if you need short distance proximity sensing. And it's really easy to use, and we have example code up for it even.
Okay.
And it's 5-volt safe, which I really like about this.
Next up, we're going to do some It's Not Out Yet, So Don't Ask.
Okay.
I'm going to show you something you haven't even seen yet. That's right. All right. So It's Not Out Yet, Don't Ask. Well, sort of. I mean, it's almost in the store. So this is 2 products that we're stocking in our wearable section. We're building out our wearable section to have more...
stuff you want to wear.
More stuff you want to wear. The eye cuff links, which are open source electronics, and the eye necklace, which are open source electronics. But we have we have people that we look up to, heroes, and we're fans. And this is one of our heroes. Bethany Shore is the CEO of Cyber Optics, and she does awesome silk screening on ties. So cool.
She also did skinny puppy costumes.
She did skinny puppy costumes. She does everything. You partied in Boston when you were younger with her at like goth clubs.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we will have some. So we're gonna have some apparel.
She has a thing for rabbits.
She has a thing for rabbits. We will have some apparel in our store. Some of it will be wearable electronic stuff, from like glowing shoes. It's coming. We're working on it. To like bags that glow. To all sorts of cool stuff. And then we're gonna have things like this. And this is only gonna be stuff that we would actually wear. And so I have this. I wear it. I like it.
Okay.
It's cool. If you ever need to get dressed up, get some eye cufflinks, get a cool cyber optic tie, you are set. So clothing for engineers. People who like engineering and open source, so we have that.
Okay.
All right, so that's in the store. No discounts or anything like that, but
these are nice ties.
These are awesome, and we only have a few, and they are limited edition. And we're gonna try to get other stuff, and we're gonna maybe work with her to do some custom ones in the future.
Yeah.
Maybe there'll be a wave bubble tie. Who knows? Maybe there'll be some other type of schematics. Who knows?
I don't know.
All possible. Yeah.
Nobody
All right,
knows.
Next up. Because we mentioned badges earlier, I'm proud to announce it's the first time I'm talking about this publicly. Adafruit has about 20 or 30 skill badges that you can earn or buy or get from workshops. And we're going to be doing a big effort with this soon. So if you learn how to solder, you can get a soldering badge. If you learn how to use a laser cutter, you get a laser cutter badge. If you 3D print, you get a 3D printing badge. If you learn microcontrollers, you get a microcontroller badge. Tech
that
shops,
looks suspicious like an Arduino.
Yeah, it looks kind of like an Arduino or an Arduino or many of the Arduinos. I worked with a few different companies to get permission for all of these. So if it's a company brand, it's definitely permission based. So Tech Shop, you're a Tech Shop member, you might get a badge. Hackaday, your stuff goes on Hackaday, you might get a Hackaday badge. You pull stuff, if you do stuff with Adafruit from our GitHub, you'll get a GitHub badge.
Okay.
Learn multimeters, you get a badge. Put something on spectrums, you get a badge. First member, you get a first badge. LEDs, reverse engineer, it's a lenticular badge. So when you move it, it flips over.
Okay.
Yeah. So.
I like the oscilloscope badge.
The oscilloscope badge. You learn how to use the oscilloscope. So we're going crazy with these. We're gonna have. If you go to adafruit.com/educators, you get a preview of this. Working with lots of different groups. This is going to be a big thing. I hope to change the Boy Scouts and the Girl Scouts to adopt things like this. They can totally use it. I'm cool with it. Go, 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 go. I would like to see the Girl Scouts adopt these because they don't have many technical badges. Boy Scouts have a robotic badge recently. Girl Scouts doesn't have a lot of that. I would like to see this kind of get out there. We're going to work with other companies, encourage them to do this. We're going to put the files up there for anyone to do. And one of the It's Not Out Yet, So Don't Ask is something that I want you to look at and the audience out there.
Oh my God.
So one of the badges I have is dumpster diving.
Oh.
And so here are the, here's the options. So this is number 1, person diving in. Number 2, their feet are sticking out. Number 3, it's a circle badge, so there's a background on it. And number 4 is like their legs are there. So I'd like everyone to so 1, 2, 3, or 4.
Vote.
3. Yeah, someone says 3. Yeah, someone says I need a iFixit badge. Funny you should say that. I just emailed with them. There might be an iFixit badge. Okay, lots of people are saying 3. Some people say 4. Some people say 1 or 3. Lots of 3. 4, 4, 3, 3, 3, 4, 4, 3. Okay, I'm thinking 3. So 4 looks like a dead body badge. Oh yeah, I guess it could be. Yeah. All right, you know what? I think the 3's have it. Which one do you like?
I think the point about it, you don't want it to look like there's a dead body torso in the dumpster. I think 3 is a winner.
Yeah, I guess it would be like a CSI thing. Like,
yeah.
What's this thing? I forgot the sound of CSI.
I don't know.
CSI Wall Street. Yeah, that'll be a new one. So anyways,
Okay.
We're really excited about this. This is a big effort. It'll be big. You'll hear about it soon. There'll be lots of people doing it. We're trying to get everyone to join in. Our competitors will do it. It'll be awesome. It's gonna be neat.
Okay.
If you have a MakerBot, I worked with Bree on the 3D printing one. Bree is the CEO of MakerBot, and he's like, I like these so much, I want thousands of them. So there's going to be thousands of those specifically, so they're going to give them away in some way, I guess.
Cool.
Anyways.
You went badge crazy.
Yeah.
And there's the Hackaday badge that you designed over there.
Yeah. What's funny is I designed the Hackaday logo because I found it Hackaday. So I emailed the current owners of Hackaday. I'm like, hey, I want to do a badge. And they're like, totally cool. So that was neat.
Yeah.
And the other thing is Instructables said totally cool too. And what was neat is because they just got recently acquired by Autodesk. And I'm like, oh my god, this is going to be awful. I'm going to have to talk to lawyers and sign stuff. And you know what? Within 10 minutes, they're like, oh, our legal team says it's totally cool. So, you know what? Like, I don't want to punish companies because everyone's like, oh, Autodesk is going to suck for Instructables. So far, they've been, like, awesome to work with. For, like, stuff like this is usually complicated and there's, like, 50 emails because there's some people I'm talking to and there's, like, committees talking about this right now.
Yeah.
Anyways, so they're kind of cool.
All right.
Yeah. How was Talking to First? Actually, Talking to First was pretty easy. They have a store that sells badges, and I said, we're just going to stock your own badges. So that was really easy to deal with. In other words, I didn't have to talk to the whole organization. We're just reselling their badges. That was easy. All right. So, general questions
I can't
for, like...
show my thing?
Oh, what thing? What do you got?
I was going to show mine. It's not out yet.
Oh, you got it not? Okay, jeez. I thought it was just... I thought that...
No.
Okay.
What?
All right.
No.
All right. Go.
Okay. There's actually 2 items that I didn't get in the store before it was time to do the show. But in addition to these cute metal buttons, I also have plastic light-up buttons. This is an arcade button that it is the older style with the micro switch and stuff, but it has an LED in it, and you can tell because if I turn this off, it's now white. So it's a black button with a white diffuse light, and then there's actually an LED built into it that you can replace. You can change out the LED to be whatever color you want. It comes with a red one, and that's fine. And then I have also a blue square. They didn't have black. I kind of wanted black with a white outline, but there's a square one. And they both have the 30mm drill hole standard. And then, unfortunately, they're a little bit tall.
Not in the store yet.
But it's not in the store yet. But it will be early next week, if not tomorrow. If I have time after going to Comic-Con. And this one's square and this one's circular. So I thought this would be kind of fun. I mean, you could do some fun stuff where you have grids of these or something, or I don't know, some sort of controller. Anyways, yeah, I kind of like these. I couldn't find anything smaller, but I'm going to try to find smaller buttons that are lit up this way.
Are you planning to carry pilot switches?
No.
Okay.
Or HVACs.
Okay. Yeah.
I don't know what a pilot switches.
All right, so we'll do general questions.
Or is it the switches that have the thing on top of them?
Are you going to carry any momentary toggle switches?
I don't know if we're going to carry toggles. We might. I just kind of want to start with these arcade type buttons. To start because they're really easy to use. They're nice and large, and I like having a range. So I like that we have the ones that are backlit, a square one, and then these translucent ones that are short, and then we might have other types of switches.
Next up, where can I get the soldering iron stand strong enough to stand up to your $22 soldering iron and its heavy cord? I have the standard Radio Shack one, and it's too wimpy. We sell one.
We sell one that's really good.
Yeah,
I think it's good enough.
Yeah.
You should try that.
So, do folks know of anything that can be used to control dispension injection of liquids, like injecting a liquid into a bucket?
You can make a peristaltic pump, or you can check out the Barbot project that Wendell and Lenore did at Evil Mad Science. They used a breast pump. They said that went really well.
When are we going to be releasing a new microtouch?
We don't have any plans to release a new microtouch, and we never said we would, so I'm not sure why you would expect that.
I noticed you had a blog entry for your Tweetawatt that does not work with Google. That's right, Google closed their power meter. If not, any good replacement for the Google's feature?
There's some people. Well, first off, we showed how you can make your own with the app system, the Google app framework, whatever it's called. But also some people at this point have written software that lets you just log the data and display it direct from your computer. So you should check that out too.
Okay. Someone says use a car windshield washer fluid pump. That's a good idea.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
I've seen some cool Halloween projects using window wipers. They put ghosts on them. They use the motors.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it was really cool. It's on Make.
That's cute.
Back in the Make old days. All right. I think. What do you think of Google Wallet?
I haven't heard it.
I have an opinion about Google Wallet.
Oh boy.
Yeah, I do. So Google.
This is I said no rants. This is the most ranty you've been. It's your diet. No, what's your opinion?
Yeah. So my opinion about Google Wallet is they have premier partners that they're working with, but there's only one thing that matters actually two,
Yeah.
with payment systems,
Yeah.
Starbucks and Transit. And Google has the Container Store right now. So they have one of the only phones that does NFC. And the iPhone 4GS does not have NFC, so I'm assuming it's going to be iPhone 5, because everyone's moving to NFC contactless payment. And Google will really need to figure out a way to get a transit. They need to get BART. They need to get MTA. They need everyone needs to get that's the goal. That's what you need.
Yeah.
So if you look at what happens with the iPhone app for Android or iPhone for Starbucks, a lot of people use it. They use these cards. They use these. It gets scanned in. It's like a QR code. But you have to pick the things that people use most frequently that get deducted from a balance, and Transit and Starbucks, fortunately, is it. And unless you get how many times do people go to the Container Store? So that's my opinion about Google Wallet.
I've never been to the Container Store.
Exactly. So it's something that you have to find the right thing that's frequent, and Transit and coffee.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
I really liked when we were.
Someone says gas too. So
it's true. I like in Japan we had the Suica cards, and you could buy food, alcohol, coffee, soda.
Yeah, we'll have a video about that. Let's do a couple more quick questions. Do we take Bitcoin? No. We were thinking about it, but it's kind of a mess. Do we manufacture the microbuilder.eu boards? Yes, we do. Any idea when you get the microbuilder TFT shield back in stock?
We're working on it. We took a little bit of vacation from that stuff, but we'll try to get that in shortly. We're working on other stuff.
Next up, do I really need a diode between my solar charger and panel? Can the batteries actually discharge through the panel?
You do want a diode, not necessarily because of back discharge, but because you want to just make sure that you have current flowing this only one way.
Yeah. Next up, I'm getting into Arduinos for the first time. Uno or Mega? Uno.
I just starting with an Uno, and then you can always upgrade, get something bigger.
Okay, have you heard any of the plans for the Arduino IDE getting ported to Android tablets? Sorry if this was in for a few weeks ago, not caught up on the show.
Never heard of it.
Nah, haven't heard of that either. But I mean, it's open source, so it's
You could.
Yeah, anyone can do anything. Alright. Someone wants to know what hair dye I use. Well, this is natural. I mean, I have a couple grays, but, you know. Yeah, thanks for asking, though.
You just got a haircut.
Why would you write code on a tablet? I don't know.
Either.
Good question. Yeah. Yeah. All right, I think that is it for tonight. We are going to do a trivia question.
Oh.
Trivia question time. Here it is, trivia question. You can tell us a trivia question by the graphic. All right. What's the prize?
The prize is 6 arcade buttons. I can't hold all 6, and an arcade controller, so you can make some sort of fun arcade-looking thing. Or,
that's cool.
Yeah, I don't know. It's 6 buttons, and this is like Street Fighter.
Yeah, that is cool. All right. Rules are. I'll do the rules. You want me to do the rules?
Oh wait, sorry, and a couple other things. I forgot. Sorry. One more thing. And you also get a pen of ice speed control handle, and I had more of these female to female jumper cables, so I'm gonna toss that in. So you get this, and then this. All this stuff.
Pressing these buttons is fun.
Yeah, this is annoying.
Yeah, there's this game where it was an Olympic game.
Yeah, track and field.
Track and field, and this is what reminds me.
That's all you did. You're hey, okay, I gotta run fast.
Yeah. Oh, that's fun.
Jump.
All right, so I'm gonna do the trivia question now.
Okay.
I'm gonna ask it on here.
Okay. Oh yeah. If you've won something from this trivia contest, don't enter. Go get yourself a beer and come back so that somebody else can win a fabulous prize.
Yeah. All
right. I want everyone to win. Everyone's a winner.
So type in the chat. Spelling counts. Who is the CEO and founder of Cyber Optics who makes the ties that we now stock? What is her name?
She actually has 2 spellings of her name, but either one is gonna be fine.
I'm gonna pick whatever one I like. Who is that person who makes these? Do.
This cool tie.
Yeah. It's not Dr. Steve Case. I like these random ones. Who is the CEO of Cyber Optics? Bethany Tord, Breaker Short, Brian Nez, 21. You won. Brian Nez, 21. You won! Yay! Okay, so this is Bethany Shore. Here's a couple photos
Her
of
middle
her.
name is not actually Toy Breaker.
No, but I put it in the description. So there she
Okay.
is. I think that's a Joy Division shirt. Look at that.
She's pretty hardcore.
Yeah. And here she is, gothing out with the cool stuff. And we are pleased to have her ties in.
Yeah, she has a bunch of cool electronic ties. We are hoping to carry more. If you
Yeah.
if you buy one of these ties, that will inspire us to carry more of her cool ties.
Brian, email support@adafruit.com, and you will get these things, and you can do this all night, like I am going to. Yeah.
Make an arcade controller.
All right. Why don't you?
And maybe I'll show off this fine tie.
Yeah, you could show.
Or I'll show off
Yeah, you could show this off.
Geiger counter.
Speaking of ties, so this tie was not designed by Bethany, but we're gonna talk to her about a special line of ties for cats. So here is MOSFET.
MOSFET?
Yeah, I think for MOSFET though, for the MOSFET video, I think this one's better.
You do want to have the front? Okay.
I think this is better. Cause look, see, that's a boss cat.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's a nice cat. Little nice cat tie.
yeah. So these are. I want him to have the circuit board tie too.
I kind of like this boss tie though.
Yeah.
Oh boy, he's looking at you. He's like, get back to work, boss cat.
Why are all these protesters outside? Why? Why are they outside my
Is
window?
MOSFET the 1%?
I'm the 1%. I am the cat that wears a tie. I poop on your 401k.
How are you making the cat say these awful things?
Support our Trumps.
Support our Trumps.
Yeah. All right.
The only problem is, yeah, he scratches the tie a little bit.
Yeah, he does a little bit. All right. Thank you, George, for recording the show. The show will be up. Thank you, everyone who was in the show and tell. Thank you, everyone who asked great questions and participated. The code tonight, once again, MOSFET's pressing that. The code tonight is Occupy. This will be active for a bit longer.
Oh, he can balance.
Make
his
sure you
Oh, that's a nice cat.
Yeah.
He has a little
He's
hat.
balancing the.
Yeah, he's had the
button.
button. Yeah, that's cool. He's a button hat. It's weird. If you put something on a cat, they'll actually like bounce it on for quite a while.
No, the button fell.
Yeah, well, it'll last forever. Nothing lasts forever.
Okay. And thank you, everybody, for the feedback on everything that you give us. And look forward to a bunch of cool new stuff. We have a ton of stuff going to store next week.
Yeah.
It'll be fun. And
Although I got a lot of the stuff in.
yeah, we
All
got
the
more.
buttons.
We got more.
Buttons and arcade things.
Okay, everyone. We'll see you next week. Here is your moment of Zener.